These are our NFL bets for week 3. Week 2 was a major bounce back week for us. We were 8-4 overall, 3-1 on the locks after starting off a little rough on the locks. But Nick's 2-0 on his
Undefeated.
locks now.
I'm pretty good.
AKA, is that good? Is 2-0 good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty good.
so Nick's
Undefeated.
leading the
The
charge on the
way.
locks here. I need to bounce back. I'm 0-2 at the locks. So I
Not carrying
gotta
over from last year.
Stop taking
yeah,
the
last
cheese,
last
baby.
year I really
Regression
was,
to the mean.
yeah, no, we're gonna come back here in week 3 and hit a lock here. So all right, who wants to start us off with their first pick? So as always, we're gonna do 3 picks, and then one of the 3 will be our lock of the week, which we'll do at the end. So who wants to start us off with their first pick?
I will.
Go
Oh,
ahead, Corey. Every
all right.
time.
It does. It happen every time here.
It's okay. Go
I'm
for it.
jumping back on the Chargers train here. Obviously, they are 0-2 to start the year, and they are definitely the best 0-2 team out there, as crazy as that sounds. They are playing the Minnesota Vikings this week. The Vikings are, I don't know what to think of the Vikings. I mean, I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad.
Their defense sucks.
Yeah, and the Chargers have a really good offense. Austin Eckler being out last week probably hurt the Chargers a little bit, but they still did it well in the passing game, which we expected that they're going to excel all year in. The Chargers are 1-6-1 in their last 8 games against the spread. I like that trend. Kirk Cousins, I mean, typically plays a little bit better, not when it's prime time. Actually, though, Kirk Cousins is like 6-2 in his last primetime games, wherever it is against the spread. But I just don't, I'm not threatened by the Vikings defense at all. I think the Chargers, I think it's gonna be a really high scoring game. I think you could also look to take the over. I mean, the over is pretty high right now. It's like 53.5, definitely the highest over under on the week, and definitely a game we'll probably target in DFS. But overall, I think the Chargers bounce back. They first get the first win column, in the first win in the win column here, and they win this game by, I want to say, more than a touchdown.
This game's going to be weird. You've got like the 2 weirdest teams in the NFL playing against each other.
Yeah. I'm gonna ride with you here, Corey. I think the Chargers match up really well. The Vikings secondary is pretty suspect. Harrison Smith is debatably their best guy, and he's like 34.
They're so
and
slow.
And then they got Byron Murphy, who's actually a good addition, but he's not going to be able to cover Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler all at once. So I think the high-powered offense will just be too much for the Vikings in this one. And I think they're going to get their first win of the year. So it's basically a pick 'em. I can't imagine this Chargers team goes 0-3. So I need a big bounce back week for Herbie here.
I don't think Eckler will play, but I really don't know if that.
I don't think that's going to be a huge difference.
Yeah, I think he'll be out.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters a whole lot.
I'm surprised they didn't put him on IR with their bye week in week 5. I guess they maybe think he's coming back this or next. So,
yeah.
All right. But I'm going a different game here. I'm going the Titans and Browns under 39.5. Both of these QBs have been bad this year. Watson's been awful against two solid but not amazing defenses. Tannehill has looked like complete ass. And as we all unfortunately saw, the Browns lose Nick Chubb and pretty much that offensive identity last week to a gruesome injury. And on top of that, the Titans' run defense has exceeded expectations this year. They always are giving people fits. They don't have like a ton of studs on the front, but they've been playing well together. I think the biggest discrepancy here is the Browns' defensive line against the Titans' offensive line. Titans have a bottom 5 O-line in the NFL. Peter Skoronski, their first-round draft pick this last year, is injured, and the Browns' defensive line has been balling out. The whole defense has, but that D-line in particular has been for sure top 5, probably top 3 or 2 in the NFL this year. So you've got Ryan Tannehill, who basically has cement in his boots against one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. It's in Cleveland. Forecast is looking like there's going to be a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind. And yes, the total is low. This is kind of like a, hold on to your nuts type of game, but I don't think it goes over 39.5. I think it's sloppy. I think it's ugly. I think the Browns come out with a win, but I think it's a low scoring game.
Yeah. All right. Well, my first pick here is going to be the Bucks plus 5.5 against the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night. The Bucks are a pass first offense, with Evans and Godwin, and that is exactly how you attack this Eagles team. This Eagles team is pretty banged up on defense. Their D line is still, very stout, very, very good, but I think they're a lot weaker. I think Darius Slay's past his prime. We'll see if Bradbury's back, but I don't really think he's that great anymore. Avonte Maddox is done for the season. I just think nobody's going to be able to guard Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And then, of course, their linebackers are maybe the worst in the league. And Cade Otton has been playing every snap. He's like a pass-catching tight end. They match up very, very well with the Eagles. I'm not saying the Bucks win this or anything, but I think they can definitely backdoor cover this, keep this very close. They're at home, and the Bucks are good against the run. That's how the Eagles like to attack. And they've been very, like the last, I forget how many years, they've just been very, very good against the run. So, we'll see. I just think the Bucks are capable of keeping this very close. So Bucks plus 5.5.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off this since this is my lock of the week here. You can get this
straight to your lock.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about your shitty picks. I want to bounce off of it and give my good pick. And go
before you say this, I just want to say I'm the guy that doesn't really think Baker's all that great, and you do, but go ahead. And I
never said he was great. I just said
no. You think he's better than I think he is.
He's a legend. Come on, PB.
Well, what I'm saying is I have the Eagles here minus 4.5. You can get down FanDuel right now. PB got your line from where? DraftKings.
Yeah.
So 4.5 if you like the Eagles, which probably should, because the Bucks are just playing a lot better than what they should be. Obviously, they're a pass-heavy team, like PB mentioned. I think the defensive line of the Eagles is going to apply so much pressure on Baker, and he's not going to be able to perform like he has the past couple of weeks. And just to give you a nice juicy little stat, because that's what I do here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 4-13-1 ATS in the last 18 games. So I'm going to be taking
that's with Tom Brady.
It doesn't matter. It's still a lot of people.
What kind of stat is that? You just like pull stats that are meaningless? What is that? Tom Brady sucks. Okay.
That's not meaningless at all, because there's still a lot of people on that team that are playing on this team.
Okay. That is completely.
Listen, PB, the Bucks ended the Bears season week 1. Okay. They're doing pretty good.
It doesn't matter.
I am taking the Bucks
Week
plus
2.
5.5. What are you
Week
talking
2.
to me about, Nick?
Week 2, but that's okay.
The Eagles are going to absolutely destroy this team and cement why they are a Super Bowl caliber team. Yes, their defense is a little banged up. It won't matter. It's going to be there's no way the Bucks can keep up pace with the Eagles. There's just no way. So, and we saw last week, Hurts can also pass the ball. So, I mean, it's going to be a big blowout game. It's
against
not
the Vikings defense.
Doesn't matter. It's not going to be close. Take the Eagles. Ride with me with my lock. Lock it in.
Go Birds.
All right, who wants to go with their next pick?
PB,
Yeah, no, Alex, you go.
I think PB we should go.
All right.
We're both on the Saints here, +2 with our second pick. Yep. Do it, Corey. Come on, let's hear it. There we go. I don't know what you're seeing from this Packers team, but I mean, they haven't looked as good as these scores have indicated, and they haven't played great teams at all. They only outgained the Bears by 18 total yards, and I'm pretty sure Jordan Love is due for an interception this game. He hasn't thrown one this year against this Saints defense. Granted, Carr hasn't looked great, but the wide receivers have looked really good. He's got guys to throw to all across the field. Obviously, you're going to get some Jair Alexander, but he's going to get spread around between the three guys. And when you've got MT healthy and Shaheed coming on the scene, guys are going to get open against this Packers defense. On top of that, the Saints defense has been in the top end of the league this year for sure, and last year. PB, you dropped this stat in our group chat earlier, but they've gone 10 straight games of allowing 20 points or less, dating back obviously to last year. And also keeping an eye on the Packers injury report here. You've got obviously Christian Watson, who hasn't played yet this year. Aaron Jones didn't play last week, hasn't practiced this week at all, as well as Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins did not practice today either. Just another little stat to show you the Packers are not nearly as good as, you know, what they've put on the field. The Packers have gotten 32 first downs these first 2 weeks. Their opponents, the Bears and the Falcons, have got 49 first downs.
Moving
17
or not.
17. I mean, their defense is you know what blew out the game against the Bears, right? They got a pick six. And you know, they took the Falcons down to a last second field goal. I don't think the Falcons are very good. I think that the Saints here go into Lambeau and get it done.
Yep, and I'm again also on this side here. Corey's just kind of off in his own world this show. He's just I feel like you're just on the wrong side of everything here. But that's okay. That's okay. We have some people to bring this back on track, down the right path. All right. So the Saints, the one note I have here is, how are the Packers going to score? And I kind of like what Alex was saying, like this Packers team after that first week, like everyone's kind of overrating them and overreacting to them. Like Jordan Love is not going to be able to do anything against the Saints defense. He's been bad at throwing balls into coverage, and the Saints currently have the best defense in coverage. He will, like, if you bet Jordan Love to throw an interception, you should do that also. He will be throwing an interception this game. I mean, if Watson, who is scoring on the Packers?
Jaden Reed
against, if Watson's not there, Lattimore is going to be on, the number one corner in the league.
Maybe Romeo Dobbs, AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon.
Those are my best bets.
All right. So it's not looking great for him. It could be another one of these low scoring games, but I mean, the Saints are underdogs here, and they're just going to flat out get the win. So you bet Saints +2 against the Packers.
I mean, yeah, that quarterback stat is, you know, secondary best, and you play Tannehill and Bryce Young. Like,
it doesn't matter. If you actually watch, like, our defense is just straight lockdown.
You're playing.
We're not making any mistakes on the defense.
The defense is the only reason they're 2-0, but
they're making
very good.
0 mistakes.
Okay.
If you're a fan of kickers, the Saints are easily the best team to watch.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
I think we got rid of the right kicker though. This guy's looking nice.
Well, good luck. Good luck this weekend to your boys in gold. But if you like betting on good teams like Bills against the Commies -6.5, you're gonna love this pick. Take them. I mean, we saw what they did last week. Week 1, obviously, I think was kind of an anomaly with 4 turnovers for Josh Allen. I think he got them all out of the way. I know there's a good D line in Washington, but it's not going to be enough. Nobody can really stop Josh Allen running, not even Chase Young, although those are 2 big men running down the field. So RIP to that grass. But I think that it's just going to be another blowout game for the Bills. This is what they do. They win early, often, they win big, and then they find a way to lose when it matters. So sticking with the Bills brand of football here, -6.5.
Yep, this is my last pick here. I'm also taking the Buffalo Wagon Bills here after they covered mightily last week against the Raiders. I mean, the one thing there's just no way Washington can keep up. That's how I look at a lot of games, is like, how is this team going to compete on offense? And Sam Howell is just not the quarterback right now. He could develop into one, but it's just not the team. I mean, last week they put up a bunch of points against the Broncos, but it's the Bronco. I mean, the Bills have a little bit. I mean, not as good a defense, but they're just not going to get as many opportunities like they were given last week against the Broncos, who have a terrible offense, or at least right now. So I mean, I'm taking the Bills there -6.5 as well. Washington's 2-5 ATS in the last 7 games. I think they just get absolutely waxed here. And again, like Nick said, Buffalo wins big games when they should, and they play bad games when they shouldn't. But this is a game where I think they absolutely just roll the Redskins.
I will say Brian Robinson is
Commander.
the leader for the Josh Jacobs Breakout Player Award this year. So very happy I have him on all my fantasy teams.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah. All right, Nick, do you want to go with your?
Yeah, I'll go with my lock of the week since I'm undefeated. I'll give you the alpha early here. So Seahawks at home. I think they're going to get it done. Maybe we see a little bit more of JSN. I would love to. Really need him to step it up. But, you can't deny the skills and talents of our boy DK Metcalf. He's pretty much unguardable against anyone. So I think he's going to have a huge game. And Kenneth Walker, the 3-legged monster, has been playing that ground and pound game near the goal line. Nobody can really seem to stop him in the red zone, which I love. So I think that lends itself nicely to a good cover here at home. Go Birds.
You didn't say
And the
number.
Panthers they're just
What's
not
the line?
good. So
Yeah,
What's the line?
What's the line, Nick?
I think they're -6 right
Yeah.
now.
-6.
Yeah. And like Bryce Young, like they can't even run QB sneaks with him because he's like 5'7". So, and he doesn't have the speed of Kyler Murray. I don't know. Feels like another number 1 bust.
And Frank Reich, coach, he's terrible. So,
Yeah,
all right, move on.
All right. Well, I'll go next here. This one, I just had to pick the easiest one on the board. And this is under the assumption, like, this line doesn't make sense if you think Burrow plays, like, in my opinion. Like, if Burrow ends up sitting this week and they try to rest and make sure that calf's better, I guess I understand it. But like, they're 0-2. He definitely can play. Yes, he might have a higher re-injury risk if he plays, but I think he's got to play here. And the Bengals are -2 at home against the Rams. There's so much hype around the Rams right now. They're 1-1. It's not even like they're 2-0. They're 1-1. It all comes from just probably more so the fantasy world of like Puka, like just dominating, and Kyron Williams now, and just there's been a lot of like attention around the team, but they're still not this great team. Like, they're playing the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati with, like, it's Matthew Stafford, Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams, and Puka versus Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mix. Like, they're 2-point favorites at home. This should be like, I don't know, 7 to 10 points in my opinion.
Well, Puka is wide receiver 2 from a fantasy perspective this year. Jamar Chase.
I don't
is nowhere
care
to be
about that.
found.
I'm talking like just when it
So-
comes to like, you think Puka
He's
Nacua
dominating.
is better
He's
than
awesome.
T. Higgins? Do you think Puka Nacua is better than T. Higgins?
Skill wise, probably
Yes.
not. But
Okay.
if there's no Joe,
So that's their
Burrow-
number 1. And now what about Jamar Chase?
I mean, if there's no Joe Burrow, I don't even.
Yeah, but I think
They're looking like 0-3. So
okay. Well, Bengals -2. It's gonna finally get me on the board here with a lock, and hoping to go 3-0 here.
All right. Rounding us out on the locks here. Lock in Corey Mello's Colts +7.5. Getting the hook there over a touchdown against the Ravens. What we like to do here on this show is sell high and buy low, depending on the market. Right now, I think the Ravens are a bit overbought. They're 2-0 straight up and 2-0 ATS, but they've definitely benefited from their schedule. Week 1, they take on the Texans and a rookie quarterback against a very suspect O-line. Week 2, Burrow is clearly still not right, so you're facing a banged up Bengals, leader in there. And then you add in the Ravens injuries. Marcus Williams is out. Marlon Humphrey is out. Owe, their outside linebacker, and two of their best, if not their two best, offensive linemen, Linderbaum and Stanley, are both out. Granted, we might get Gardner Minshew in this game. I do think Anthony Richardson probably misses this game. I'm assuming that he does. So we're getting Minshew mania, Minshew magic. I think that he, with the injuries in the Ravens secondary, actually matches up a little bit better for this game against them than Anthony Richardson currently does. Richardson hasn't really shown yet that he's figured out how to put some touch on the ball downfield. You see a lot of like bullet passes on every single throw.
You got to tune in that howitzer, man.
A little bit. And then on top of that, the Colts have been significantly better than expected in the trenches on both sides of the ball this year. That offensive line was in absolute shambles last year, and they have pulled it together. They've got the best center in the league right now. I just think this number is a little bit too high. Lamar has similar ATS stats as Mahomes when he's an underdog or a favorite of 3 or less. Right, we always talk about that with the Chiefs and Mahomes. Lamar's 17-4 in that same category, but they haven't been as good in higher spread games, similar to the Chiefs. The Ravens also have Cleveland next week, so this is kind of like a sneaky little sleepy trap spot. I think I could still see them getting it done, but I think over a touchdown is just too much. And I know Corey thinks they win outright. I think that would be a little wild, but over a touchdown to me is just is too much here. So Colts 7.5. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
All right. And Corey, already went with his Eagles pick a little earlier. So that will do it for week 3 of our betting show. We'll be back tomorrow for our DFS breakdown. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a lot. And we will see you next time.
Good luck.